What's up, YouTube? I am currently making a venison taco soup that I usually do at deer camp, but I didn't want to drive 45 minutes. God, that wind is cold. I know it's only like 35 degrees, but it feels cold. So anyways, I'm making a venison taco soup currently. And if you guys want to see that video, I'll put the link in the description. But I wanted to take a minute while I'm waiting on the charcoal to get heated up before I get started on this recipe to kind of explain, the video you're about to see. So the video you're about to see, it takes place in South Texas, so the rut is a little bit later. So in this video it's like December 8th or 9th or something, and the deer are still in rut. So I had a couple bucks chasing earlier in the day that I didn't get on film, so I knew there was still a little bit of rut activity going on, and one of the bucks that was chasing was not a younger buck, so it wasn't just year and a half old, 2.5-year-old bucks just harassing does. So I knew there was a little bit of rut activity, so I figured I could have some success calling. So in this video, before the video takes place, I actually sit there and hit my grunt call a couple times, and this big 8-point that you see, he gets really worked up about it. He goes to Ricky, the crazy looking buck, and spars with him for a minute, and Ricky's not having it. He kind of takes off, but this 8-point, haven't named him, but this 8-point is just furious about it. So he starts walking down the pipeline, and he ends up finding this little sapling, and that's when the video starts, and he just goes to thrashing that sapling, and you'll see he's kind of fluffed up, and Ricky actually goes around down into that bottom and comes up beside him. You'll see in the video. But just to kind of give you the calling sequence, I just kind of hit the grunt call a couple times, just rah, rah, and it just got him super fired up. So I don't think calling deer is always the best option, but in this scenario, in a place that has a high population of bucks, not only bucks but of all age classes, calling can be very, very successful. So I'll shut up and I'll let you guys see the video. Here it is. So, as you guys just saw, that buck was super worked up. And kind of give a follow-on story a little bit. I did the grunt call, and you know, he got worked up, kind of sparred with Ricky a little bit. And it wasn't crazy, you know, it wasn't a fight. They were just sparring, tickling antlers, but it was audible. So then he went down and he tore that sapling, just shredded it. And you know, that happened. And then Ricky started walking down the pipeline, and I cut the video. And I kind of wasn't thinking, you know, I kind of thought that was the end of the video, end of what was worth filming anyways. So he starts walking down the pipeline, and I figured I would just, you know, throw a Hail Mary and snort wheeze at him. So I throw the snort wheeze at him, and at this point it's probably 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So I knew the activity was about to die down, so I just snort wheezed at him, and it got Ricky's attention. So he turned and looked back at me, and while he's looking back at me, I noticed movement, you know, 100 yards past him. Well, 320 yards down the pipeline, an absolute giant walks out, and I'll drop the picture right here. So that buck walked out, just an absolute giant. And I mean, this deer is probably 300 yards, 325 yards away. I was shooting a lever action 308. So I pull up, and at this time I hear my cousin Clay driving down the trail to come pick me up. So I figured I had one opportunity to take this deer. I didn't have time to get the camera on him, which in hindsight I really wish I had. So I pull the gun up and I fire, and he doesn't move. So then I'm like, crap, so I reload and I fire again, and he still doesn't move, and I'm like, what the heck? So then he turns and trots off. So long story short, we went down, looked for blood, never found any blood, so we figured he had made it. Well, that evening, my cousin's girlfriend, Missy, she ended up shooting what I think could potentially be that buck. So I'm pretty sure it was the same buck, but either way, she ended up taking a shot at him. And we found a little bit of blood, and we kind of just, we tracked until we lost blood. So we kind of gave up on him, which is unfortunate, but fast forward a week or 2 weeks later, they go down there, and my cousin Clay actually puts his hands on this deer. And it is stripped down, and the coyotes have eaten all of it. And we got a lot of, I don't know if this is actual name, but we call them Mexican eagles down there in South Texas. And, you know, they picked it clean, but I'll drop the picture right here, a few pictures of what the deer, you know, look like as a European mount. Long story short, the big one got away. I ended up shooting a nice 8-point, which I think I'll show in another video. But yeah, that's kind of the story on that one. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, you know, give a thumbs up, and you know, kind of throw in the comments if you like these, you know, these reflections back on my past videos. If you do, I'll keep doing them. If not, I'll move on to something else. But either way, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching this video. And we'll see you next time.